What's going on, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to the channel and buckle up because today, we've got a rumor so hot it's practically melting the turf down in Dallas. That's right, whispers, theories, and speculation are swirling like a Texas tornado around the idea that the Dallas Cowboys might be making a blockbuster move to bring none other than Christian McCaffrey, the NFL's reigning Offensive Player of the Year, straight to AT&T Stadium. Let that sink in for a second. CMC, one of the most dynamic offensive weapons in football, possibly suiting up in that iconic star helmet and joining forces with Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, and Jake Ferguson? It sounds like Madden fantasy mode turned all the way up, but believe it or not, there are strong talking points behind this rumor that have fans, analysts, and even players buzzing. Now let's be clear from the jump, there's no official word from either front office just yet, but where there's smoke in the NFL, there's often fire, and the whispers about Dallas possibly packaging a third-round pick this year and another in 2026 to send to San Francisco in exchange for McCaffrey have been gaining momentum by the hour. So how did we get here? Let's rewind a bit. Christian McCaffrey, a first-round pick back in 2017 out of Stanford, has been nothing short of a generational talent when healthy. After years of dominance with the Carolina Panthers, he was traded mid-season in 2022 to the San Francisco 49ers, and let's be honest, that move turned their offense into a juggernaut. He put up over 2,000 yards from scrimmage in 2023, scored 21 total touchdowns, and became a threat every time he touched the ball, whether running between the tackles, catching passes out of the backfield, or even lining up out wide. He's football's version of a Swiss Army knife. But here's the thing. After the Niners' disappointing exit in the NFC title game and a looming salary cap crunch, rumors have begun to emerge that the team might be willing to move their star back to free up cap space and get younger on offense. Now enter the Dallas Cowboys, a team desperately trying to shake the pretender label after several years of playoff heartbreak and underperformance. Jerry Jones and company have made no secret of their desire to go all in this year, especially with Doc's window narrowing and questions swirling about Mike McCarthy's job security. The Cowboys' offense, despite having talent, has lacked consistency and explosiveness in the run game since parting ways with Ezekiel Elliott. Tony Pollard's time as RB1 had flashes, but injuries and inefficiency ultimately raised questions. They've tried to patch things up with Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams, but neither has the game-breaking potential or proven resume of Christian McCaffrey. So when news breaks that McCaffrey might be had for just a pair of third-round picks, especially when Dallas has a history of gambling on stars, people start connecting the dots. Could Dallas actually pull the trigger? It's not as far-fetched as it may seem. First, let's talk fit. CMC would be the perfect complement to this offense. Imagine him lining up beside Dak Prescott in shotgun, motioning out to the slot, pulling linebackers out of position, opening lanes for CeeDee Lamb to work underneath, or drawing coverage away from Ferguson on play action. He'd instantly become Doc's safety valve, allowing the quarterback to operate with more confidence, more rhythm, and more options. It wouldn't just help the passing game, it would redefine it. McCaffrey's presence would also completely revamp Dallas's rushing attack, which ranked in the bottom third of the league in explosive run plays and third down conversions last season. With McCaffrey, you're not just getting a guy who can pound the ball between the tackles, you're getting a player who can stretch the field horizontally and vertically, turning simple swing passes into 25-yard gains. The Cowboys' red zone efficiency, a sore spot in 2024, would likely see a massive boost. Just think of how many games last season stalled in the red zone because Dallas lacked a true finisher in the backfield. McCaffrey changes that, but of course, every deal has two sides, and there are definitely some big risks here that are making fans pump the brakes. The first and biggest concern? Injuries. McCaffrey has had multiple seasons derailed by hamstring, ankle, and shoulder issues. Although he's looked healthy and elite when on the field, the wear and tear is undeniable. At 29 years old, he's getting to the age where running backs historically begin to decline, and with his style of play, high usage, heavy contact, tons of touches, it's fair to wonder how long he can sustain that level. Then there's the contract. McCaffrey is not cheap. He's slated to make over $19 million per year with bonuses and incentives through 2027. For a team like Dallas, who's already trying to lock down Micah Parsons long-term, extend Darren Bland, and possibly revisit a deal with CeeDee Lamb, committing that kind of cash to a running back, even one as good as McCaffrey, is a dangerous balancing act. We've seen in recent years that paying top dollar for backs rarely pans out long-term. Just ask the Rams, Titans, or Saints. The counter-argument is that Dallas doesn't need McCaffrey to be a 350-touch workhorse like he was in Carolina. With the right offensive game plan, they could rotate him, limit wear, and maximize impact. 15-20 touches a game, with a mix of rushes, screens, and slot routes, could keep him fresher and healthier over a 17-game season plus playoffs. It's all about how you use him. Some analysts are calling the trade idea a silly season fantasy, pointing to the Cowboys' draft-first philosophy and recent reluctance to give up draft capital for veteran players. Others argue that if Dallas is serious about getting over the hump and making a real Super Bowl run, this is exactly the kind of bold move that could spark the locker room and shift the narrative. And remember, Jerry Jones has never been shy about making a splash. We've seen him go after Deion, T.O. Roy Williams, Amari Cooper. Why not McCaffrey? Social media, of course, is blowing up over this. Some fans are posting jersey swaps of McCaffrey in Cowboys gear, while others are calling it madness. The Reddit threads are lit. The fantasy football community is already panicking about how it would affect touches and target shares, and local Dallas radio is fielding call after call from fans begging the team to either pull the trigger or stay away. It's classic Cowboys chaos, and it's only August. The wild thing is, depending on how San Francisco's front office sees their future, this isn't out of the question. If they believe Brock Purdy can operate a leaner offense, or they want to free up cap space to extend Brandon Ayuk or rebuild the O-line, trading McCaffrey now while his value is still high might be strategic. And for Dallas, the cost in picks isn't massive, especially if they feel those picks wouldn't yield an impact player right away. Third rounders are valuable, but they're not guarantees. If you think McCaffrey gets you to the NFC Championship or the Super Bowl, you make that deal every time. Plus, the NFC is wide open. The Eagles have questions at quarterback. The Packers are young. The Lions are dangerous but unproven. The 49ers might take a step back. There is a window here, a real shot at making a deep postseason run. So now the big question is, will Jerry do it? Will the Cowboys front office, often criticized for playing it too safe, swing big when it counts? Because if they do, and McCaffrey stays healthy, this team becomes a legitimate Super Bowl contender overnight. But if they don't, and the offense sputters again down the stretch, fans will look back at this moment, at this rumor, and wonder what might have been. So what do you think? Is it worth the risk? Do you trust McCaffrey to stay healthy and deliver for Dallas? Or is this just another classic offseason distraction that gets fans excited but ultimately leads nowhere? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, smash that like button if you're fired up about Cowboys football, and don't forget to subscribe because we've got eyes on every trade rumor, injury report, training camp update, and locker room whisper coming out of the Star in Frisco. Thanks for riding with us today, and whether CMC becomes a Cowboy or not, one thing's for sure, this season is shaping up to be unforgettable. Let's go, Cowboys Nation!